Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to round number 7 of the 2022 NASCAR Xfinity Series season, here live on the 4Y Broadcasting Network, presenting you the running of the ToyotaCare 250. In the first 6 races of the year, we have seen 6 different winners. So far this year, 6 drivers that have already clinched a spot in the playoffs here in 2022. Most recently happened last week with Josh Berry getting the win at Martinsville. That was a short track, and here this weekend it is another short track, and a track that has always produced very exciting racing. And we look forward to having a great race here today. We have the NASCAR Cup Series here tomorrow. Let's take a look here at the playoff grid. 6 names in green. Daniel Hemrick leads the way in the points. 4 points on Justin Allgaier when it comes to the regular season points. Brandon Jones, Josh Berry, and AJ Allmendinger, along with Brett Moffitt and his win at Daytona. They have already punched their ticket into the postseason. Currently, Myatt Snyder is 5 points to the good. Sam Mayer is 5 points out. That is how the playoff grid looks as we approach today's race. As we take a look here at the starting grid, you see we have an 18-year-old on the pole driving the number 18 Monster Energy Toyota Supra. That is Ty Gibbs. On the pole with the number 9 of Noah Gragson. 2 drivers that are, I think, is a kind of a big surprise to see that they are winless so far this year. Ty Gibbs and Noah Gragson. Then you have the 7, Justin Allgaier. He swept both races here back in 2020. Riley Herbst and AJ Allmendinger. That is the top 5. Sheldon Creed, Jed Burton, Sam Mayer, Josh Berry, and John Hunter Nemechek. That is your top 10 on the starting grid. That's all we're going to talk about here in the pre-race show. But now we are going to be going to a commercial break. But don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we will have the drop of the green flag coming your way here on the 4Y Broadcasting Network. The lights are out at the top of the pace car, so we are going to be going racing here. Next time by 18 of Ty Gibbs on the pole with the 9 of Noah Gragson. 2 drivers looking for their first win of 2022. Justin Allgaier, a 2-time Richmond winner. Riley Herbst still searching for that first win of his career. Yeah, 2 drivers going to the rear of the field for unapproved adjustments after qualifying. The 15 of Bailey Curry is one of them, and the 26 of Derek Griffith also having to go to the rear of the field. But we are going to be getting set to go green this time by the front row, Gibbs and Gragson, and we are going to go green this time. We're on the way here in the ToyotaCare 250. Really good restart there by the 9 of Noah Gragson on the outside of the 18 of Ty Gibbs. They're going to be 3 wide here off the corner. That's Sheldon Creed in the middle. AJ Allmendinger down low. Riley Herbst way up the racetrack in turn 3. In contact between Creed and Allmendinger. Creed gets sideways. Here comes the 1 of Sam Mayer trying to take advantage of it. They're still side by side for the lead at the front between Ty Gibbs and Noah Gragson, but the battle is still on further back. 3 wide again. That's at 8 of Josh Berry down low. John Hunter in the middle. 98 of Riley Herbst continuing to lose several spots here on the restart. But at the front, though, the 18 of Ty Gibbs able to get clear of the 9 of Noah Gragson. Now the 7 of Allgaier tries to take that second spot away here off turn 2. The teammates 2nd and 3rd, followed by the Colleague Chevrolet of Allmendinger and the RCR Chevrolet of Sheldon Creed. So and we have a car on pit road. That looked like the 5 of Stephen Parsons on pit lane. We'll try to find out what took place. We're hearing there was an accident off turn 2. We're going to go and try to get a replay of that. Right now, the 18 of Ty Gibbs, your leader over Noah Gragson and Justin Allgaier. Going back to what happened to the 5 of Stephen Parsons. Here he is. He's on the inside. Slides up the racetrack a little bit. Brandon Brown gets to his inside. Makes contact with the 5, and Parsons goes into the outside wall off of turn number 4. And he's trying to get out of the way. He's trying not to get run over from behind. That's Joe Graff Jr. trying to avoid Parsons, who ended up having to come to pit road because of a tire going down. And look at this big stack up back here. The 28 of Parker Retzloff nearly gets taken out. And you see some damage on the back of the 52 of Spencer Boyd. Cody Robot also got some damage out of that, but definitely the big loser was Stephen Parsons. And oh, look at this. Derek Griffith got contact from, couldn't tell who that was, that got into the 26. Remember, Griffith was one of the cars that had to go to the rear of the field for unapproved adjustments. And a little bit more contact almost with Dawson Cram in the 35. But definitely a crazy start to the race if you're starting outside the top 30 here in this race. Back up front though, we are now 5 laps in. 18 of Gibbs, 9 of Gregson, 7 of Allgaier. That is your top 3, single file throughout much of the top 10 until we get to about the back half of the top 10. John Hunter Nemechek on the outside of the 8 of Josh Berry. And Josh Berry wasn't really a factor in Martinsville, at least not for the not for the lead, for the win, but there at the end of the race he kind of came out of nowhere and was able to grab the win. And the driver who kind of, as you know, it was a good fortune for the 8 of Berry, but the 20 of John Hunter Nemechek was really the loser in that final stage. Was leading with a pretty big lead, had to come down pit road under green. Definitely a tough break for John Hunter. Further back here, Daniel Hemrick on the outside. That's the 68 of Brandon Brown. We saw him make the initial contact with Stephen Parsons earlier in this race. He's at 48, the big machine car of Kaz Grala. He's had some pretty good runs in that 48 car ever since he began driving a few weeks ago, and here he is trying to get around the defending champion of the series, Daniel Hemrick. But now all 3 of these guys have caught the 39 of Ryan Sieg. And Parsons leaving pit road again. That's the second time he's been on pit road today. Coming out ahead of the 45 of Sage Karen. Looks like he may be coming to pit road again. No, but he nearly got sideways as he got on the apron down in turn 3 and 4. 45 of Sage Karam tries to make the pass on the outside lane. Parsons currently 3 laps down at the moment. Noah Gregson's been able to stay in second place, trying to fight off the 7 of Justin Allgaier. The 18 of Ty Gibbs so far, he has been able to drive away from second place, but this track is very known for tire wear. Unlike Martinsville, unlike Bristol, tires are crucial, or at least more crucial, I should say. And this is one of those tracks where you want to try to manage your tires. Try not to go too hard, too fast, too early, because you're going to burn your stuff up on the later half of the run. That's where the experience. If you're a guy like Allgaier, if you're a guy like Allmendinger, if you have a good car, if you know you have a car capable of winning, that's kind of your goal. Let these younger guys like Gibbs and Gregson kind of burn their stuff out, and that's when you're going to be able to pass a little bit later on in this run. John Hunter Nemechek has now gotten by the 1 of Sam Mayer. That is 6th and 7th, 8th place. Josh Berry on the outside of the 27. Hometown race for Jeb Burton out of South Boston, Virginia. Got a home track for Jeb. There's that 21 of Austin Hill now trying to enter the top 10, going past Josh Berry. Berry trying to use the 27 though as a pick on Austin Hill, and now Hill going to have company to his outside, the 98 of Riley Herbst. Remember, Riley Herbst, he started all the way up inside the top 5. And here he is outside the top 10. Definitely not a good start of the race for Riley Herbst. Landon Castle right behind him in that 10 car. He's had some pretty good, he's had quite a few good weeks leading up to this race. Inside the top 10 in points. There's his teammate Daniel Hemrick in the 11. Brandon Jones, the 19. He lost the point lead after Martinsville last week. Trying to see if he can regain that point lead. Right now, his teammates Ty Gibbs and John Hunter Nemechek, they're leading the race and running inside the top 10. Jones mired back here towards near the 15th position right now, as he's about to get passed by the 51 of Jeremy Clements, who's had a pretty rough year. Battling the 45 of Sage Karam. There's the 48 of Kaz Grala. A little bit further back here. And with this being a short track, it doesn't take long for the leaders to get on the same straightaway as the slower cars, as we're got a battle for second place going on here. Allgaier on the outside of Noah Gragson. Teammates going after second place. Gregson doesn't seem to have the pace to chase down the 18 of Ty Gibbs, but Justin Allgaier, he may believe he does have something for the 18. And he's going to get up there and try to run down Ty Gibbs as Gregson hits the apron in turn 3 and 4. Has to get out the gas. Here comes a good run by the 16 of Allmendinger. Behind them, 5th place, John Hunter Nemechek. He's been on the move since the drop of the green flag. Now trying to go after 5th place with Sheldon Creed, the former Truck Series champion, Rookie of the Year. One of our rookies here in 2022. And there's one of Sam Mayer. He's one driver who really just wants to get a good finish. Try to get some momentum back, some good mojo on this one team. Currently 17th in the points after 6 races. Now he's going to try to look to the inside of Sheldon Creed. We've seen a lot of drivers running that second lane. You know, we've seen the 20 car make a few passes on the top. But right there, he was able to pass Sheldon Creed on the bottom now, and Sam Mayer also trying to work the bottom here on the 2 of Creed. So we definitely have 2 different lanes that these drivers can run. We've seen drivers run the top, and now we've seen a few trying to make that bottom lane work. That's what drivers like. They like options. They like being able to search around the racetrack, try to find grip, and that's definitely what we're seeing here in the first 22 laps of this race. And as we are on lap 22, we've already begun to hit lap traffic. The 35 of Dawson Cram has already gone a lap down, and now the 52 of Spencer Boyd, who has some pretty good rear end damage, he's now gone a lap down as well. We are already past the halfway point in this first stage. By the way, we are on lap 23 of 40. Stage 1 will end lap 40. Stage 2 will end on lap 80. As Sam Mayer tries to make the pass here on the 2 of Sheldon Creed. And further up ahead, the 20 of Nemechek now has caught the 16 of Allmendinger. Ty Gibbs currently has a 1.9 second lead on Justin Allgaier with about 16 to go here in stage 1. And we saw Allgaier make the pass on Gragson for second place, but since then he has not been able to run down the 18 of Ty Gibbs. He's not been able to gain any time whatsoever on Ty Gibbs right now. Gibbs definitely has early run speed and beginning to show some long run speed as well. But we still have 15 to go here in this opening stage. 4th place, John Hunter Nemechek on the outside of AJ Allmendinger. Jedburn having a great day early on in that 27 car. Top 16 in points for the driver out of Our Motorsports. His teammate Brett Moffitt got that win at Daytona. Locking him in right now. Burton trying to, as of right now, point his way in. Austin Hill, the 21. Currently outside has kind of been outside the top 10 for much of the day so far, but here he is running in 10th place, Landon Castle in 11th. Good battle back here. There's Brett Moffitt and Anthony Alfredo, the teammates of Jeb Burton. 68 of Brandon Brown to 39 of Ryan Sieg. They've been together basically this entire race so far. Have not been able to get away from each other and running just outside the top 15, outside the top 20 here. Ryan Sieg falling back to 21st. He's been dropping quite a bit since the green flag was displayed. Mike Snyder 22nd, Austin Wayne Self. Bailey Curry is one of our biggest movers. He's up to 24th. Remember, he had a start at the rear of the field. Unapproved adjustments after qualifying. Ryan Vargas is 25th. There's Kyle Segan 26th, Parker Retzloff 27th, JJ Yaley, Derek Griffith, and Ryan Truex. Preston Pardus, David Starr, Joe Graff Jr., Howie DeSavino, and Mason Massey. Those are the 35 cars currently on the lead lap as we are coming to 10 to go here in stage number 1. Ty Gibbs was able to get a stage win last week in Martinsville. He won the second stage and had a shot to win the race. Had some late race drama come into play. Justin Allgaier got that win early in the year in Phoenix. Noah Gragson, he made the championship for a year ago after a win at Martinsville, but so far he's been winless in 2022. He's also had some pretty bad luck throughout the course of the year so far, but he's going to have some company here pretty soon as the 20 has now picked up another spot up to 4th place in that Fire Alarm Services Toyota. John Hunter Nemechek on the move up to 4th place. He just got around the 16 of AJ Allmendinger. But the field's definitely gotten spread out since the green flag initially came out. And here on lap 33, right now is a 1.4 second lead. That gap has definitely shrunk after the last time we looked at the distance between Ty Gibbs and Justin Allgaier. It was 1.9 earlier. Is now 1.4 at the moment, and that has a lot to do with the lap down cars. It really depends on where you catch them and how much time you spend trying to get around that lap down car. And normally in a situation like this, the lap down car is going to hold up, in this case, the 18 of Ty Gibbs, a lot more than they will hold up the second place car, which is Justin Allgaier. It was 1.4, now it's 1.6, so Gibbs was able to stretch the lead just a little bit. It was a little bit quicker that lap, over about a tenth quicker than Allgaier, as they were trying to get around that 0.8 of Mason Massey. But we had a little bit more lap down cars ahead of the 18. We got Howie DeSavino in the 44 and Joe Graff Jr. If these two guys get side by side and start racing each other, that could slow the 18 down just enough to give the 7 of Allgaier an advantage. Allgaier a little bit quicker that time by. 5 to go here in stage 1. And they're still battling ahead of the 18 of Ty Gibbs. DeSavino moves high, gives the bottom lane open to the 18 of Ty Gibbs. How hard are these two guys going to race that 18? Because if they can stay in front of Ty Gibbs before the stage break at lap 40, that could really change that could really make a difference in the outcome of their race. And right now DeSavino's going to try to fight tough. He's going to slide out the racetrack a little bit. Gibbs tries to complete the pass here off turn number 4, and Allgaier chipping away even more at that lead. Is now almost under a second now between Ty Gibbs and Justin Allgaier, but Allgaier is going to have to gain a little bit more, going to have to find a little bit more speed if he's going to get around that 18 as we're coming to 2 to go. 3rd place, Noah Gragson, John Hunter Nemechek. Gragson trying to fight off the 20 to 3rd place. Allmendinger 5th, Mayer, Creed, Barry, and Austin Hill. That is your top 10. As we are going to get set here to complete the first stage. Now Allgaier's having to try to work his way around the 44 and the 07 as Ty Gibbs takes the white flag here in stage 1. Looking for his second stage win of 2022. We talked about him getting a stage win last week in Martinsville. And trying to do it again here on another short track here in Richmond. Got a couple of teammates, David Starr and Preston Parlis, ahead of the 18, but it'll be Ty Gibbs winning the stage over Justin Allgaier. And Noah Gragson will hang on to third place as the caution will come out here on lap number 40. Stage 1 is in the books in the ToyotaCare 250, and it is Ty Gibbs getting the job done with his second stage win of 2022. Caution comes out at a perfect time for David Starr and Preston Parlis. They were just about to go a lap down, one more lap, and they were going to be lapped. So this caution comes out at a perfect time for those two. And the 07 Joe Graff Jr. should get the free pass here under this caution flag. That's also why Joe Graff and Howie DeSavino were racing so hard. They're trying to, if they both got lapped, they want to be that first car a lap down. But as we are on the yellow, now it is time for pit stops. Ty Gibbs will bring him down. Allgaier, Gragson, Nemechek, and Allmendinger, your top 5. And now they will come to the attention of their pit crew, try to get them off pit road as quickly as possible, because this is definitely going to be a track position race. Even though we've seen the 20 of John Hunter drop from 10th to 4th, you're definitely going to use a lot more tire if you're having to drive through the field. So I'll try to get out as quickly as you can. The 48 of Casgrala comes off pit road first, ahead of the 18 of Ty Gibbs. So maybe a 2-tire call for Casgrala. No, he's coming back to pit road. So he may have missed his pit stall. And that is what we're hearing on the radio. Casgrala missed his pit stall as he was coming down pit road. So that should keep the lead with Ty Gibbs and Justin Allgaier. And actually, we have a few cars staying out. On 40-lap old tires, we got Brett Moffitt, Bailey Curry, and Kyle Sieg. Those 3 stayed out on the racetrack, so those are going to be the first 3 leaders when we go back green here live in the ToyotaCare 250. Stage 2 is set to begin here this next time by. We got a interesting pit call up here at the front. Brett Moffitt, your Daytona winner, won the stage at Las Vegas based on a pit strategy. He's going to be the leader over the 15 of Bailey Curry. The 38 of Kyle Sieg also stayed out. The first car on new tires here, stage 1 winner Ty Gibbs getting the job done. And here's your stage 1 results. Jed Burton getting a stage point there in 10th place. But we are going to go back green here with 40 to go here in stage 2. And you have the 15 of Bailey Curry, who started dead last. Remember, he had to start at the back. And there he is trying to fight for the lead. Brett Moffitt down low on the inside lane. Bailey Curry up high, the 15. But if you're Ty Gibbs, if you're Justin Allgaier, if you're Noah Gragson, you're trying to be you want to be that first car to get clear of these cars on old tires, and see Ty Gibbs drives to the bottom of the 15 of Bailey Curry. And that 38 of Kyle Sieg, he's got the inside lane checked up, and that's hurting 7 of Allgaier and the 16 of Allmendinger down low. And John Hunter now trying to make the pass on Curry as Gragson is going after Ty Gibbs. And now Gibbs looks to the outside of Brett Moffitt down in turn 1. And even though Moffitt is about to get passed for the lead, and even Curry getting passed by 5 or 6 cars, I will say these two are already exceeding my expectations here for them on this restart. I thought they were just going to fall back like a rock, and they have actually maintained better than I thought they would. And that's going to be and I tell you what, these creatures on pit road, they are definitely paying attention to the call by Brent Moffitt and Bailey Curry, trying to see how tires are going to play out after 40 laps. Should we get a caution? One of those, interesting cautions a little bit later on in the race, as we have the yellow on the track. Caution is out. And we have the 52 of Spencer Boyd stopped on the racetrack. Caution is out, and we have Mason Massey. His cars came to a stop towards the entrance of pit road. So we had a crash off turn number 2, involving at least 2 cars between Spencer Boyd and Mason Massey. So we're going to go back and see if we can find out what took place. So the caution is not going to start with Massey or Boyd. 3 wide coming off turn 4. Snyder and Alfredo's on the inside of Jeremy Clements. And Alfredo kind of runs to 51 into the outside wall off turn 4. That is the second week in a row Jeremy Clements has been put in the wall by another car. And I believe last week it was the car right in front of him, Austin Wayne Self, if I'm not mistaken. But this is going to cause a big stack up here. Obviously, the 51 has the tire down. And there's going to be some contact with Spencer Boyd and Howie DeSavino. There's Cody Rohrbach getting involved. Rohrbach and Boyd, they crash, and I believe Massey ran in the back of somebody. I believe possibly a radiator busted on the 08. Yeah, here's another look at it. There's going to be a big check up here and watch the 08 of Massey. Runs right into the back of the 44, and then it gets clobbered by Rohrbach in the 55, and there's more contact with Boyd in the 44. But Kaz Gralla, Preston Pardus, Derek Griffith, Riley Herbst, I believe JJ Gailey also got some minor front end damage, maybe even more than minor. But at least 3 cars heavily affected here, as we have our first on-track caution of the day. Ty Gibbs was able to get in front over John Hunter Nemechek and Noah Gregson. That is your top 3 as we get set for the next restart here in Richmond. Going back to green, this time by on lap number 46 of 150. I want to point out that under the stage caution, Joe Graff Jr. Came down pit road when pit road was closed, so he was unable to take advantage of that free pass. But under this yellow flag involving Spencer Boyd and Mason Massey, Joe Graff was able to get the free pass now, so he is back on the lead lap. The order is a little bit different than what we expected. Brett Moffitt is now 3rd, Noah Gregson and Jeb Burton the top 5. But it's Ty Gibbs and teammate John Hunter Nemechek on the front row as we're back underway. Ty Gibbs chose the bottom on that restart. John Hunter Nemechek looking to the outside though. Not giving up just yet. Austin Hill, Jeb Burton side by side for 5th place. Burton stuck in behind his slower teammate Brett Moffitt on those older tires. Checking further back, making sure everybody is behaving. And this is that 38 of Kyle Sieg. Also, we got some more contact back here. Clements and the 48 of Cass Gralla. And more contact. Williams sends Clements into the wall. And Joe Graff's going to get into the 55 of Rohrbach. And once again, Jeremy Clements gets put in the wall. That is the 3rd time in 2 races. Jeremy Clements having no luck here this afternoon in Richmond, as we still side by side for the lead up front. I was going to say before that all that drama with Jeremy Clements began, Kyle Sieg saw the 38 continuing to hold up the outside lane a little bit further back. But right now we have a 4-car breakaway here at the front between two of the teammates from Joe Gibbs Racing. Ty Gibbs down low, John Hunter Nemechek running high. We saw Nemechek make quite a few passes on that second lane early in that first stage, and here he is going after Ty Gibbs here on this restart. Noah Gregson right there in third, and Austin Hill, who didn't really have top 5 speed in that first stage. They've been able to make a few adjustments, and now they brought that 21 car to life early here in stage 2. Jeb Burton now in 5th place. Josh Berry, Landon Castle, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier was a victim of being on the inside lane. He is now falling back to 9th, and Brett Moffitt has now fallen back to 10th. Still not too bad when you think about it. Brett Moffitt actually has been able to maintain way better than I expected, and Bailey Curry also back here in 14th place, battling Sheldon Curry. He's also maintained better than I expected. So far, so good if I'm Brett Moffitt and Bailey Curry. There's Derek Griffith. Definitely want to give a shout out to that 26, even though he hasn't really had a smooth weekend so far. Griffith had a top 5 finish last week in Martinsville. Definitely had some late race drama develop that helped him get a top 5. Obviously, rain came and into the race early, but he had a great run though going before that, and right now he had a start in the back. He's had some damage throughout the course of the race already, but here he is running inside the top 20. Not too bad for the driver out of Sam Hunt Racing. And there's Ryan Vargas in the 6th, looking to his inside, having a solid run as well for JD Motorsports. But up front, you probably noticed on the ticker, the lead keeps changing between Gibbs and Nemechek. They are still side by side for the lead, and I believe Nemechek may have him here entering turn 3. Nemechek trying to pinch the 18 on the bottom, trying to keep him from using all the racetrack. And behind them, there's another side-by-side battle between Austin Hill and Noah Gregson. Hill down low, Gregson up high, kind of slips off the corner, but maintains to the outside of the 21. That's going to bring the 27 now into the picture with Jeb Burton. This is definitely the best run we've seen out of this 27 car all year long. Your Talladega winner from a few weeks from last year. And we'll be going to Talladega here in 2 weeks, as next week we have another short track, Bristol. That is next week. As up front, John Hunter Nemechek has now finally grabbed the lead away from the 18 of Ty Gibbs. On lap number 57, we have about 23 laps to go here in this second stage. Now, John Hunter Nemechek, a playoff point that you get for winning the stage. That doesn't matter for the 20 car, but it matters in that 18 of Ty Gibbs. What did the crew chief on that 18 car, Chris Gale, do to that car? Because it doesn't seem to be as fast as it was in that first stage. Austin Hill now 3rd, Noah Gregson in 5th place. Josh Berry running the iRacing.com colors on his Chevrolet, going after Jeb Burton for 5th place. Burton's teammate Sam Mayer. Tell you what though, Genie Motorsports, they definitely had some fast Chevrolets here this weekend, all 4 inside the top 8. As Allgaier tries to complete the pass on Landon Castle, and he does. Great run here by the 45 Sage Karam. Driving the 45 this week for Alpha Prime Racing, and Karam is having a great day, running here just inside the top 10 in that 45 car, right in front of the 98 of Riley Herbst, the 2 of Sheldon Creed. Herbst's going to look to the outside here, entering turn number 3. Creed down low, trying to make the pass work on the 98. That is 10th, 11th, and 12th. Daniel Hemrick. Haven't really seen Daniel Hemrick show a lot of speed here this weekend. He's kind of struggled throughout the course of the weekend so far, and He's really the only Colleague Racing Chevrolet that hasn't really shown any promise. I mean, although he is in front of AJ Allmendinger, who lost quite a few spots on pit road under that stage caution, and obviously hasn't really had a lot of luck on these restarts. He got passed by Brandon Jones, who was struggling in that first stage. Give you an update here on Brett Moffitt and Bailey Curry. Two of the guys who stayed out. They are now 18th and 19th, so they're beginning to fade a little bit more as this run goes on, as we expected. The other guy who stayed out, the 38 of Kyle Sieg, well, he has now dropped all the way back to 31st. He is the last car on the lead lap as the 48 has came to pit road. That's Kaz Grala. So Grala makes an unscheduled pit stop in the 48 car, and he's going to go lap down. Driving the 48 for Big Machine Racing. So he goes a lap down, and he'll be depending, trying to see where he will cycle out here. I'm not sure how many laps down he currently is. I know he's at least one lap down. I'll wait for the ticker to update here, but right now he is being shown at least 2 laps down in 36th place, the 78 of Josh Williams. He is currently the first car on the lead, or first car a lap down should we get a yellow here. And we will get a yellow within the next 15 laps as stage 2 will come to a close. I also want to give you an update on Mason Massey and Spencer Boyd. They are both retired from the race, done for the day, but both checked and released from the infield care center. That is good news, but those two done for the day, giving us at least 38 cars left in this race. John Hunter Nemechek leading the way here in the ToyotaCare 250. Jeremy Clements, after the contact he had on this prior restart, he's been on and off pit road. He's now 3 laps down in the 51, so another tough week for Jeremy Clements, the Spartanburg, South Carolina driver. But John Hunter Nemechek, he runs full-time in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, but they're off this weekend, and they're off for quite a few more weeks until their 6th race, which is Iowa. So it'd be kind of a big break for John Hunter, at least on the Truck Series side, but luckily for him, Joe Gibbs Racing keeping him busy here, piloting this number 20 car. Coming to 12 to go here in this second stage. Sam Mayer and Justin Allgaier now 6th and 7th. Landon Castle has now driven up to 8th. Jeb Burton is now dropped to 9th, and Sheldon Creed has now cracked the top 10 in the 2. Riley Herbst is 11th. Brandon Jones, Sage Karam, AJ Allmendinger, and Daniel Himberg. That is the top 15. Allmendinger very fast early in the race, but definitely had a slow pit stop and had a pretty bad restart, and he's now trapped outside the top 10. But we saw the pace Allmendinger had in that first stage. He finished inside the top 5, and just goes to show that even though you have top 5 speed, it doesn't always translate well when you get further back in the pack and more dirty air. And Allmendinger trying to work his way up through the field, going past the 45 of Sage Karam. So as Allmendinger and Himberg are struggling right now, their teammate Landon Castle is one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. He passed Jeb Burton a few laps ago to move up to 8th place, and he has been running some pretty good lap times. So he may be a guy you got to keep an eye on as this race continues on here on lap 72 of 150 in the ToyotaCare 250. Right now, 1 second lead though separates John Hunter Nemechek and Ty Gibbs. There's the 35 of Dawson Cram going another lap down. And Kyle Sieg, who stayed out on the stage 1 caution. Not only has he fallen to the last car on the lead lap, but he has now lost so much ground where he's about to go lap down here. Unless we get a yellow here very soon, which we will. We have about 6 or 7 more laps to go, but I'm not sure Kyle Sieg's going to be able to make it another 7 laps here. And right ahead of him is the 78 of Josh Williams, the first car a lap down. He's going to have to try to drive as hard as he possibly can to stay ahead of that 20 car. And then you have Howie DeSavino and Preston Pardus. And I believe that DeSavino may have actually gotten around, and he did. So DeSavino should be the first car a lap down. So that would be the free pass position of 44 versus the 78. But if Nemechek's able to somehow catch Preston Pardus, that doesn't even matter because Pardus would get the free pass. And Ty Gibbs doesn't seem to have anything for his teammate right now. In fact, the 21 of Austin Hill has been closing in on second place Ty Gibbs. So all of a sudden, you have guys like Allmendinger and Allgaier, top 5 speed. Now they're outside the top 5, and you have a guy like Austin Hill who was towards the back half of the top 10 in that first stage. Now all of a sudden, here he is trying to run down second place runner and your stage 1 winner, Ty Gibbs. That's just how fast things change here in this series. Further back, and look at that, all in one picture, all 4 Judy Motorsports Chevrolets, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, all in your screen, all from the same team. Noah Gragson, Josh Berry, Sam Mayer, and Justin Allgaier. I'm sure they love being back to back to back to back, but not when they're outside the top 5, as you see Allgaier trying to make a pass here late on the one of Sam Mayer. Of Kyle Sieg's now been put a lap down. Josh Williams has been put a second lap down. Howie DeSavino going the second lap down. And now Pardus going to have to try to drive away from that 20 of John Hunter Nemechek for one more lap. As we will enter the final lap here in stage number 2, John Hunter Nemechek in front of Ty Gibbs. Joe Gibbs Racing definitely showing a lot of muscle here early on in the first 80 laps of this race. Ty Gibbs won the first stage, led every lap. John Hunter got the lead in stage 2 early on, and he's going to hold him off and win the second stage of the day. John Hunter Nemechek wins it, and Joe Gibbs Racing sweeps the first 2 stages here in the ToyotaCare 250. And the caution comes out just before the 92 of Preston Pardus goes a lap down. So that will be a big break for Pardus and a big break for the 38 of Kyle Sieg. He will get back on the lead lap. And now though, Nemechek will catch the pace car. And pit road will be open this time by. As we get set to enter this last stage, no mistakes. We saw, the slow pit stop by Allmendinger and how much it costed him. 70 laps to go. If you make a mistake, you really don't have a chance to recover that in 70 laps. Laps go by very quickly here in Richmond. And John Hunter leads him down to pit road. Ty Gibbs and Austin Hill, your top 3 on pit road. And Kyle Sieg will get the free pass here under this caution period. 38 cars on the racetrack. And one advantage that John Hunter Nemechek has on Ty Gibbs and everybody else is he had a few lap down cars ahead or between himself and the 18. So that just gives him a little bit more of a cushion should they have maybe a small mishap on their pit stop. So I see a car leaving pit road already. Is that Myatt Snyder? It is. He is the first car off pit road, but gotta make sure he did not miss his pit stall. We saw Casagrala do the same earlier, and looks like Snyder did as well. So trouble on pit road for Myatt Snyder. He will come back down, but John Hunter Nemechek wins the race off of pit road over Ty Gibbs and Josh Berry, picking up a few spots on pit road. He'll be third. Sam Mayer and Austin Hill. So Austin Hill loses 2 spots on pit road. But Stage 2 is in the books, and it is John Hunter Nemechek, your Stage 2 winner here in Richmond. Back live here at the track, and we just got done talking about how you cannot make mistakes on pit road. Well, a mistake was made by not one but 2 of our leaders here today. John Hunter Nemechek and teammate Ty Gibbs both caught speeding on pit road, and they are going to have to restart at the very tail end of the longest line. Costly mistake by John Hunter Nemechek and Ty Gibbs, as they have led every or almost every lap here today, and now they are going to have to start at the very back of the pack. John Hunter Nemechek sped exiting pit road. Ty Gibbs sped entering pit road. And now they're going to be at the back of the pack. Cal C got the free pass. And now we have 2 JRM Chevrolets on the front row as we approach the beginning of the final stage. So now all of a sudden, Josh Berry leading the way with Sam Mayer in second, Austin Hill, Jeb Burton, Noah Gregson, your top 5. We're going to be going, they actually added a additional lap, so we'll be going green next time by. Trying to get the cars in the back more lined up correctly. And we had a few guys, we had 2 cars speeding up pit road. We had John Hunter and Ty Gibbs speeding up pit road. We also have 3 cars restarting in the back for missing their pit stall. Myatt Snyder, we saw Snyder drive past his pit stall. Well, Anthony Alfredo and Sage Karam also made that mistake. And so they're going to have a restart at the back as well. But up front, Josh Berry and Sam Mayer, your new front row as we're underway in the final stage here in Richmond. Josh Berry won last week. Sam Mayer looking for his first career win, battling Berry. And behind them, Austin Hill, Noah Gregson. That mistake by Nemechek and Ty Gibbs has just opened this race up, and it is anybody's race at this point. Berry trying to clear Sam Mayer, but Mayer fighting back in the outside lane. Entering this race, 17th in the points is Sam Mayer. Here he is trying to take it to Josh Berry, winner from last week. Austin Hill, a Georgia native, running in third. Noah Gregson and Jeb Burton, 4th and 5th. There's Allgaier, Sheldon Creed now getting the mix. And how about Derek Griffith again having a great showing in that 26 for Sam Hunt Racing, trying to drive past Allmendinger in the 16. Allmendinger had a better pit stop most recent time on pit lane. Also had a pretty good restart here, trying to get some of those spots back that he lost earlier in the race. Josh Berry's been able to get clear of Sam Mayer and has been able to drive away, but now Austin Hill to the outside of Sam Mayer for second place. Noah Gregson able to make the pass on Burton, although he's unable to get clear, as I thought he had it cleared coming off turn 2, unable to do so. And there's Allgaier behind him in the 7. We haven't seen Allgaier able to recover and get in the front since the stage 1 caution. Trying to make the pass on Burton, who is unable to get going here on this restart. There's Allmendinger now to his inside in the 16. Behind him, Lieutenant Landon Castle. Solid here inside. How about Austin Wayne Self having a solid run here inside the top 15 in that 37 car for AM Racing? Nice run by the Texas native inside the top 15 ahead of Brett Moffitt. One driver who has checked out is the 8 of Josh Berry, a 1.2 second lead. On second place, Austin Hill. Sam Mayer now third. Noah Gregson and Justin Allgaier. Remember in that last stage, there was a point towards the end of the second stage where all 4 JRM Chevrolets were nose to tail on the racetrack, and if you take away the 21 of Austin Hill, that is where they would be, all inside the top 5 as well. Allgaier now trying to run that second lane, trying to get to the outside on the knot of Noah Gregson. We've seen Allgaier run the bottom quite a bit today, but here he is trying to make that second lane work, and he's trying to get around his teammate Noah Gregson for fourth place. Jed Burton, he's been able to kind of maintain his position. He's now 6th. He fell back. Lost some time on this pass restart, trying to maintain where he is and trying to fight his way back. We got Sheldon Creed's battling AJ Allmendinger back here towards the back half of the top 10. You got Brandon Jones 19. First time he's been inside the top 10 today. Going past the 98 of Riley Herbst, that is 10th and 11th. Daniel Hemrick right behind him in 12th. And to update you on Ty Gibbs and John Hunter Nemechek. Remember, we talked about how important track position is. Right now, Ty Gibbs is 24th. John Hunter Nemechek is 26th. Now, remember, they had to start behind all the lap down cars as well, not just the lead lap cars. But right now, Ty Gibbs 24th and John Hunter 26th. They are not going anywhere here. And we have about 57 laps to go. I mean, they're going to need not only a caution, but they're going to need a couple of cautions and maybe try to gain some spots on pit road or on a restart. But it's going to be a tough task at hand for the 2 JGR drivers to try to get back in this race. And it seems like Joe Gibbs Racing had the win in hand, but now it appears that they may have given the win to Junior Motorsports, because they run 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, with the 21 rookie Austin Hill in 2nd place, having a strong run here inside the top 5 with 55 laps to go. And at the top of the show, we talked about, the first 6 races of the year. We've seen 6 different winners. We've seen Brett Moffitt get that huge, surprising win at Daytona. We got Daniel Hemrick getting the win in Fontana. Brandon Jones was able to steal a win at Vegas. Allgaier at Phoenix. Allmendinger at Atlanta. And just last week, Martinsville was Josh Berry. Right now, Josh Berry trying to become the first Xfinity driver to win multiple races here in 2022. We saw Ryan Blaney do it on the Cup side. He won Atlanta and Martinsville. And now Gregson has been able to stay in front of the 7 of Allgaier, and now going after the 1 of Sam Mayer. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Behind them is the 27 of Burton, the 2 of Sheldon Creed. And Gregson on the outside of Sam Mayer, trying to pinch him down, trying to keep Mayer from being able to get in the gas. And Gregson may be able to make it work here. Just a few more corners, and he should be able to get clear. You see Allgaier also trying to run that second lane behind the knot of Gregson. For the back, Sheldon Creed on the inside of Jed Burton. 6th place now. Creed and Burton going at it. Other than the kind of the issue that Stephen Parsons had early in the race and the incident with Spencer Boyd and Mason Massey, it's been kind of a clean race so far. We see some great racing, and cars are now beginning to slow. I believe we'll be until we have a caution on the racetrack, and we're hearing it is for debris on the back straightaway. So we are under yellow here on lap number 99. Just shy of 50 laps to go, and we are now under caution. So now we will have to... We haven't ran that many laps on these tires, but see if anybody is going to be bold enough to stay out. We have quite a few coming in, but quite a few staying out as well. Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, the first two staying out on the track, but some of our leaders though coming down pit road, including Josh Berry and Austin Hill. So they will come down pit road. Mayer, Creed, Burton, Allmendinger, and Hemrick, the top five that stay out. And we have several cars staying on the racetrack. So this call to come down pit road with 50 to go, it is going to be a tough... If this race goes green, this is going to be a great call. But if we get a caution, because we're not quite sure how many tires these guys have on pit road. Now these guys, they can go about 40 laps on fuel. So this is probably why they're coming down. I mean, they only get about 40 to 45 laps of fuel. So small gas fuel tanks could deliver some late race drama here with about 50 to go. We got a couple of guys at the front that have never won in this series before. Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed. Got Jeb Burton he's had a really awesome day in that 27 car. And you got the two collie cars of Allmendinger and Hemrick. What's going to happen here in the ToyotaCare 250? But we may be coming to one to go here this time by, so we should be able to double them up here. Having trouble talking, trying to double them up here on the restart. And it looks like we're going to go one more lap. So we're going to take a commercial break. We'll have the restart coming your way when we return here to Richmond. Lights are out on top of the pace car, so we are going to go green. This time by with Sam Mayer and Sheldon Creed in your front row. I do want to point out that the cars that came down pit road, they are actually good to go. I said that they can go about 45 laps on fuel. That is, I was thinking of something else, but these guys that came down pit road, they are good to go on fuel. The question is, if we get another yellow, what do they do? Because they have no more tires on pit lane. Noah Gregson, Josh Berry, Austin Hill, the first three cars on new tires outside the top 10 on the restart with Sam Mayer bringing us back down to green. And we have 50 laps to go. Sam Mayer and Sheldon Creed. Now these guys up here at the front, they don't have enough fuel to go all the way, more than likely, as look at Austin Hill trying to shoot the gap in the middle. And if you're Austin Hill, if you're Lanny Castle, you're racing the 9, you're racing the 8, you're racing the 7. You got to be aggressive here on this restart. Because who's ever the first car to get through these slower cars on old tires, that could be the guy who's going to win this race. Look at Hill, 3 wide on the outside. What a move by Austin Hill. And he's going to use the 15 of Bailey Curry as a pick to block in the net of Noah Gregson. Right now, Austin Hill, the first car on new tires. And he's going to clear the 15 here of Bailey Curry. So this is where, the 21 of Hill, this is where he has to be patient. He has to be careful. And he's going to get loose right there off turn 2. That's going to get Josh Berry to his outside. I was going to say he had to be careful to make sure he doesn't get held up in the worst spot and lose all his momentum. And now Berry and Gregson looking to the outside, and I believe those two are going to have an advantage on the 21 of Hill. Hill trapped down low behind the 37 of Austin Wayne Self. And as that was going on, you saw the 4 of Ryan Truex had to make an unscheduled pit stop. He came to pit road, and up front, Sam Mayer is now in second place as Sheldon Creed has now gotten the lead away from Sam Mayer. In third place, Burton and Allmendinger, Hembrick and Jones still battling for third place, and Barry, Gregson, Hill, Castle, they're trying to get around that 37 of Austin Wayne Self. And look how slow the 37 is off turn 4. Look at all the momentum that Austin Hill ends up losing compared to the 9 and the 8. He has to get around that 37 car before that 9 and 8 drives away. And now Barry has caught to the bumper of the 19 of Brandon Jones. There's Gregson on the outside of the 39 of Ryan Sieg. And Sheldon Creed. If you're Sheldon Creed, you're trying to build a big enough gap as you can on Noah Gragson. But it don't really matter because Sheldon Creed doesn't have enough fuel to go all the way. He's going to have to at least hope for a yellow to come out. That way he can come down pit road, get fuel, but also put new tires on. And then he'll be the one driving up through the field like we're seeing right now with Josh Berry and Noah Gragson. Austin Hill is still stuck in behind a 37 of Austin Wayne Self. At some point, that 21 is going to have to move to 37 out of the way. Now Self moves to the outside lane. There's Landon Castle and Justin Auger, and then not too far behind them is the 18 of Ty Gibbs. So Ty Gibbs has actually done a nice job on this restart. Has now driven inside the top 20. Now, John Hunter Nemechek has not been as successful. He's still back here in 28th place right now, hoping for a yellow. In fact, I don't even think Nemechek wants a yellow flag because he was one of the cars who came down pit road to get tires. And there's the lead between Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer and AJ Allmendinger, and now Josh Berry making the pass on Jeb Burton. So it's Berry and Gregson now 4th and 5th. And then I believe the next car on new tires is going to be Landon Castle. Austin Hill, he has not been able to take advantage of being on those new tires. He's got himself trapped behind a bunch of cars on old tires. Remember, he made some great moves on that restart, and I thought he was going to be the first guy, on those new tires. But he got loose coming off the corner, and he allowed Josh Berry to get to his outside, and he kind of got him trapped on the bottom behind the 37 car, and things have not been the same since. And there's 3 wide back here. Ryan Vargas on the inside. Mike Snyder in the middle. And we have the 48 car back on pit road. Taz Gralla. More trouble for the 48 of Gralla. Brett Moffitt almost contact between himself and the 37 off turn 2. He was stuck in the middle. So we go back up here to the front. Barry and Gregson going after the 16 of Allmendinger. That's 3rd and 4th now. Changing hands. Allmendinger drops back to 5th. And there is the lead for Josh Berry. It's right there in his windshield. And if this race goes green, this race is in the hands of the 8 or the 9. But this is also very important for Josh Berry and Noah Gregson to remember that, they have newer tires. They're going to catch the 1. They're going to catch the 2. They're going to pass them both. But then what? You get in the lead or you get in second place. You still got to manage your tires because you're still racing the guys on new tires. Barry, he has, obviously his goal is to get the lead, but he also has to try to play defense by trying to save his right rear tire. And keep, you gotta remember that, not only are you trying to pass the guys in front, but you're trying to save your stuff to keep the guys like Noah Gragson from passing you later on in this run. So, but that's where the experience in Josh Berry comes in. He obviously doesn't have a whole lot of experience in the series, but he does have a lot of short track experience where it comes down to saving that right rear tire, trying to manage your equipment, and I believe that's where the advantage Josh Berry has over Noah Gragson right now, as Landon Castle is now the third car on new tires. Austin Hill and Ty Gibbs, that's actually the first 5 cars on new tires. And now Berry to the outside of the one of Sam Mayer. Mayer was the only JRM car that did not come down pit road under that caution. I was kind of a little surprised by that, because all 3 of his teammates came to pit road. And Berry makes the pass work on Mayer. Now Gregson's going to try to follow him through on that outside lane. And now there's one more car to go for Josh Berry, and that's the 2 car of Sheldon Creed. 31 laps to go. Creed still has to make one more pit stop, more than likely, but he wants to do it under yellow. But he wants that caution. I think that if he wants the caution, he wants it now, because not only do you want a caution so you can come down pit road and get new tires, but you're going to need enough laps to try to work your way up through the field. Now, we've been green for about 20 laps already, and the Ada Berry has yet to get the lead away from Sheldon Creed. Now, given he had to start outside the top 15, but it still took him, it's taken him almost 25 laps to get the lead away from Sheldon Creed. So you kind of, you think about it, and obviously it depends on how many cars would come down pit road should we get another yellow, but there's a chance that it could take more than 25 laps to do it again if you're a guy like Sheldon Creed. So kind of want that caution to come out as soon as possible right now if you're Sheldon Creed. And Josh Berry continues to close in on the 2. Noah Gragson third, Sam Mayer and AJ Allmendinger. But I tell you what, though, the fastest car on the racetrack right now is Landon Castle. He's even faster than Gragson and Berry. Austin Hill is also running some pretty good lap times as well in that 21 car. Ty Gibbs has been able to recover up to 9th place in the 18. So great recovery for Ty Gibbs. But John Hunter Nemechek is still outside the top 20 in 22nd place. Not sure what's going on with the 20 car. I mean, he came to pit road, but he just does not have the pace. Wonder if something else could possibly be going on with the 20 car. Kaz Gralla, talked about him earlier about having to come back down pit road on the green. Well, they have pushed the 48 car behind the wall, so Kaz Gralla is done for the day. The 55 of Cody Robot made a pit stop on the green. He is now 4 laps down as we are becoming a 25 to go this time by for Sheldon Creed. 3 cars under a blanket. Then you have Sam Mayer 4th, and now Landon Castle making the pass on his teammate for 5th place. So Castle and Hill, the question is, did the 9 and the 8 use their stuff up trying to navigate their way through the field? Because right now, the 10 and the 21 was a lot quicker the last few laps than the 9 and the 8. Now, it may not be as quick this lap because they're trying to pass the 16, but Castle and Hill, could they have something to say should the 8 and the 9 get stuck racing that 2 car Sheldon Creed? Creed's done a nice job. Once Berry got to 2nd place, I thought he was going to get up there and pass him, but right now Creed's been able to maintain that lead a lot longer than I was expecting them to, and right now doing a pretty good job holding him off. I believe this is where Berry has to know that the 2 has to pit. And so I believe Berry might be more focused on just trying to, pace himself and keep him in front of his teammate Noah Gragson. Fourth place here right on your screen, Sam Mayer. That's a teammate to Barry and Gregson. Does he try to hold Landon Castle up a little bit more than normal? Try to help his teammates. Going past the slower 35 of Dawson Cram. 22 laps to go. Now make that 21 to go as Gregson, look at this. Second place, Noah Gregson, and we have the 2 car on pit lane. Sheldon Creed has came to pit road, giving up the race lead with 21 laps to go. Sheldon Creed's on pit road. And Noah Gregson, as that's going on, Noah Gregson's going for the lead here with 20 to go. Gregson and Hill Gregson and Barry side by side for the lead. And don't look now, but that 10 and the 21, they are chasing down the top 2. Castle and Hill are 2 of the fastest cars on the racetrack. Allmendinger in 5th place. There's Ty Gibbs now in 6th. Actually, that's 6th and 7th. Sam Mayer is in 5th place right now. And these 2 guys up front, they're still side by side for the lead. $18 to go this time by. And now the 9 of Noah Gregson leads the way over Josh Berry. Gregson trying to become the 7th different winner in the first 7 races of the year. The 7 Xfinity regulars, by the way. 7 drivers running for Xfinity points. That's never been done before. And Gregson trying to make it happen here this afternoon. But he's going to have to beat his teammate Josh Berry, who won last week in Martinsville, to do so. Let's go on board the 8 of Josh Berry. Let's see what he sees from the cockpit view behind the wheel of the 8. 16 laps to go. Look at him working that wheel. Trying to be easy in the gas, easy on the brake. Right now, Gregson seems to have a little bit more pace than Josh Berry, and now Sheldon Creed, who is back on the track on new tires. There he is right there behind Berry and Gregson. Austin Wayne Self has now made a unscheduled pit stop. If I say unscheduled, but I guess it would be scheduled because the 37 car did not pit on that caution. So we also got the 68 of Brandon Brown on pit road with 14 to go. Gregson trying to get around these slower cars, but now he has a faster 2 of Sheldon Creed going by on new tires. So I guess Sheldon Creed did have an extra set, or of course he did because he stayed out, but unable to take advantage of those new tires on a restart to try to get the win. And there he is on the outside of Howard DeSavino, 3 wide with your leader on the inside lane. And here comes Landon Castle and Austin Hill ready to pounce. Gregson stuck in behind the 44 and the 78, and here comes Castle for second place. Myatt Snyder on pit road. 11 laps to go. This time by. Now the 26 is on pit road. Derek Griffith, Joe Graff Jr. also on pit road. But now we have Landon Castle in second. Austin Hill now third. Josh Berry in fourth. So Berry has fallen all the way back to fourth place. Now Ty Gibbs is now inside the top 5. So it's not over for Ty Gibbs as we're coming to 10 to go this time by. And look what I see. I see the 9, the 10, the 21. That's 3 drivers looking for their first win this year. 2 of them going for their first career win. Lanny Castle going for his first career win in NASCAR. And there he is in second place, and he sees that trophy right in his windshield. Can Lanning Castle make something happen here late in the going here in Richmond? His teammate Daniel Hemrick, he's on pit road. Hemrick stayed out on that one caution. Gregson trying to go by the 55 of Cody Rohrbaugh. There's the 26 of Griffith. He's on new tires. And this is where some of these guys have to be careful, because you don't want to cause a caution and get yourself trapped a lap down. Because if more guys have to pit under green, you want to be at least try to salvage the best finish you can. And there goes the 26 by the 9. And I believe we have a caution. Looked to be slow. We got the 16 of Allmendinger on pit road. Yeah, we are under yellow. The 7 also came to pit road with a flat tire. So the caution is out for debris down in turns 3 and 4. And it may have to do with the 7 of Allgaier, who had a flat tire. So this is going to change everything now with 7 to go for Noah Gragson. Gragson and Castle, your first 2 cars, and they are going to stay out behind the pace car, so they are not going to come down pit road. So under caution yet again here in the ToyotaCare 250. Several cars came to pit road. A lot of the guys that stayed out on that one on the lap 100 yellow, they had to pay the price by coming to pit road under green. But now we're going to have a restart under 10 to go. We're going to go to a commercial break, but when we come back, the finish of the ToyotaCare 250 coming your way here on the 4Y Broadcasting Network. Getting set for the finish here of the ToyotaCare 250, coming at a 1 to go signal here this time by with Noah Gragson on the front row. Lanning Castle alongside. We ran a few laps trying to get the scoring correct, so we are going to have 4 laps to go when we take the green flag. 4 to go. We have Gragson and Castle, your front row. Austin Hill and Josh Berry. Ty Gibbs and Riley Herbst. Sage Karam, John Hunter Nemechek. And then you have Anthony Alfredo and Ryan Sieg. That is the top 10. With Moffitt and Curry, Sheldon Creed and Kyle Sieg, Pardis and Allgaier, Mayer, Starr, Burton, and Allmendinger. Those are the 20 cars on the lead lap. But it's Gragson and Castle, the front row, as we come down to green with 4 laps of racing to go. Pretty good jump by the front row. Gragson gets an early lead. He clears the 10 of Castle off turn 2. Now third place. A battle between Austin Hill and Josh Berry. 3 to go this time by. Sage Karam on the inside of Riley Herbst. Alfredo on the inside of John Hunter Nemechek. What a turnaround for the 20 car. John Hunter Nemechek was outside the top 20. And all of a sudden, here he is inside the top 10. But up front, it is Noah Gragson leading the way. Lanning Castle not too far back. Coming to 2 to go this time by. Noah Gragson won here last season of what was back-to-back wins at that point. Lanning Castle in the 10. Colleague racing his first full year and driving a competitive car. Austin Hill in 3rd. The white flag is out. The top 3 have never won, or has not won in 2022. But that looks to change here with the 9 of Gragson. the final time down the back straightaway. He'll be the 7th different winner in 2022. The night of Noah Gragson comes to the line and he will win the ToyotaCare 250. Noah Gragson wins today in Richmond, Virginia. And he will punch his ticket into the postseason. It's his 2nd win here at Richmond. Landon Castle will tie his career best in 2nd. Austin Hill, a career best in 3rd. Josh Berry, and great rebound by Ty Gibbs inside the top 5 in the 18 after that spinning penalty at the end of stage 2. Comes back to grab a top 5 in the 18. Riley Herbst, Sage Karam, John Hunter Nemechek, Anthony Alfredo, and Ryan Sieg. That is your official top 10. Great run by Alfredo, or what a great finish by the 23 of Alfredo. Sage Karam grabs the top 10 in the 45 for Alpha Prime Racing. Definitely a lot of great stories inside the top 10 when you look at the results. And here they are on your screen already. Already went through the top 10, but, Ryan Sieg grabs another top 10. We talked about Sage Karam and Anthony Alfredo. Brett Moffitt, 11th. He was able to lead a few laps on the green when he stayed out at the end of stage 1. And Bailey Curry, great rebound for the 15 of Curry. I believe that will move Curry into the top 20 in points. Further down, Sheldon Creed, tough break for the 2 car. He just needed the caution to come out a little bit earlier, and he would have had a good shot at possibly winning. Preston Pardis gets a career best on an oval. Kyle Sieg, top 15. And 2 other guys for JRM, Allgaier, and Mayer. Jeb Burton definitely had a disappointing finish. AJ Allmendinger and David Starr in the top 20. And some of the guys that got trapped by that yellow, Brandon Jones and Daniel Hemrick. That's 2 of them. A little bit further down, there's Austin Wayne South, 25th. Ryan Vargas, he had a top 20, good run inside the top 20 for much of the day, ends up 28th. Parker Retzloff, 30th. There's Jeremy Clements, 33rd, another tough going for the 51. Dawson Cram, Stephen Parsons had trouble on lap 2 of the race. Cody Rohrbaugh, back at 36. He was 5 laps on the last car on track. And we failed to mention that the 26 of Derek Griffith, before that caution came out, actually also went to the garage area. It was an engine failure on the 26. Now, that was not the cause of the yellow. It was for debris for something else. But the 26 did go behind the wall. Kaz Gralla. Then you have Mason Massey and Spencer Boyd, who crashed on lap 43. So that will be the official results here from the ToyotaCare 250. And now we will take a look here at the playoff grid. And one more name in green, Noah Gragson locks himself into the postseason with his win today. Justin Allgaier takes the lead in the regular season points, has now a 14-point lead on Josh Berry and a 17-point lead on Daniel Hemrick. We get 15 playoff points if you win the regular season title, and right now that belongs to the 17 of Justin Allgaier. Got Sam Mayer, he jumps above the cut line, 10 points to the good. Mike Snyder is 10 points out. Brandon Brown, Bailey Curry, and Ryan Truex, your top 20. That is now the top 20 on the playoff grid. Jeb Burton had a good day. There he is in 15th. Ryan Sieg, Anthony Alfredo. Got a lot of good teams though. We have a good amount of small teams that are going to be fighting for that 16th and final spot. So it's going to be a fun battle to watch throughout the course of the summer. Tomorrow we got the NASCAR Cup Series here at Richmond, and then next week we will head to another short track. That is the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. So a lot more great short track racing coming your way here on the 4i Broadcasting Network. Well, one more time, let's give a congratulations to Noah Gregson. He wins the running of the 2022 ToyotaCare 250.